world, Scotty D. Welcome to another What's Up Wednesday, the weekly series that is of you, for you, by you, and about you. I'm merely your puppet and your servant, answering your questions or covering your topics of interest. And if you want to be featured on a future What's Up Wednesday, it's real simple to do so. All you have to do is get your questions or topics of interest into me via email or Twitter. The email account, scott@scottydonline.com, or the Twitter account is @ScottyDOnline. Both are in the video description below for easy find and easy use. And if I happen to pick you for a future What's Up Wednesday, you're going to get some cool perks. First and foremost, I'm going to give you a shout out during that video. Secondly, I'm going to give you a plug and promotion to your YouTube channel and any other social media project that you are working on because you are proud of it. You want people to know about it. Well, it will happen right here on What's Up Wednesday. This week's What's Up Wednesday comes by way of Twitter. It's a tweet from SpartanPlayz. That's P-L-A-Y-Z. You can check them out over on Twitter, as well as check out their YouTube link below and their Twitch TV link below in the video description. Right after you watch this week's What's Up Wednesday, go on over and check out what SpartanPlayz has got going on. On to the tweet. SpartanPlayz says, @ScottyDOnline, that's me right here, and you can find that again in the video description below for easy find and easy use. SpartanPlayz says, I use a Blue Yeti microphone, and I was wondering how I should set the gain to and how it affects the quality. Good question. And of course, you use a very popular microphone because it's USB, it is all-encompassing, so you don't need an external mixer. But gain is gain. So let's talk about what gain is, and then let's talk about how you can properly set it up to your recording needs. Now, let's squash any confusion right out of the gate. Whether the gain is built into your microphone, like in your case with a Blue Yeti, or like in my case, I'm using an XLR mic with nothing built into the actual mic itself, and I'm running that mic through a mixer. The mixer has a gain on it, and that goes into my DAW. So whether it's built in or part of your audio chain, gain is gain. And what gain is, it's the ability of an amplifier to increase the power or amplitude of a signal. So what does that really mean? Let's break it down. Gain is the sensitivity of the source pickup into the destination. That's really what it breaks down to. So if you understand that and keep it simple, gain is the sensitivity of the pickup pattern of whatever that you are recording from. Then it won't be so difficult. But there are many different factors into setting your gain proper. The first and foremost is the sound source. What is it that you are recording? Is it a spoken word? Is it a singing person? Is it an instrument? Is it ambient noise? All of these things and more will have a direct effect on how you set your gain up. And the dynamics of that sound source will also play a major factor in how you set up your gain. And the dynamics is really the sound pressure level of the signal that you are recording. Is it extremely loud or is it very, very quiet? Because each one of them will have a direct effect on how you need to set up the gain. Now, another thing you need to consider is, in your case, you're using a Blue Yeti that has a USB connection in and everything's built into the mic. But if you ever get into gear like mine where it's not built into the mic and you need to factor all of your audio chain, if you have a mic that goes into a preamp, then into a mixer, and maybe some outboard gear as well, each one of those might have some sort of gain setting on them, and you will need to take each one of them into consideration for the final gain into the recorded source. Now, line level also plays a major factor into this, because not only do you have the gain or the preamp, but you also have the line level of the pickup of the channel that you're recording into on your mixing source or your DAW. So keep that in mind as well, that your line level will also play a major factor in how you set up your gain. Now, last but not least is the noise. It's not just the noise of the signal that you are wanting to record, whether it's the noise of my voice, whether it's the noise of a singer, an instrument, an ambient noise of source. The noise around it will also play a major factor, because if I take my microphone right here and I crank the gain all the way up, what it's going to do is it's going to pick up all of the ambient noise of the room and increase it and make it more dominant and present in the recording. The less gain, the less dominant the ambient noise will be. So if you are really close to the mic, you might not need to apply very much gain. But if you are farther away from the mic, maybe you need to increase the gain to pick up that signal source much better. So now that we've talked about gain and all of the potential elements that might make up the proper setting of your gain, let's get into how my gain is set up. Now, I'm not going to get into the exact details of what my knobs are set on my mixer because it's irrelevant, because unless you have an Alesis Multimix 4, your knobs will be set up a little bit differently. The concepts are still the same. What I try to do is record at a peak level with some headroom in that peak, just in case I have that unforeseen and unanticipated burst of volume, the dynamics of the volume that becomes greater than I anticipated. If I don't give myself some headroom in my levels, what will happen is you will get clipping. So when you're asking what the quality of proper gain settings is you're trying to get the most out of your signal without clipping. Because in the digital age, your sample rates can only go so much before the ones and zeros just get chopped off. In the analog days, if you got above what your max levels were, you got distortion and all of these other artifacts that introduce themselves into your recording. But in the digital age, you get clipping. So you want to make sure that your peak level still gives yourself some headroom on your main VU or your volume unit meter to allow for nothing exceeding at least -3. Now, when I record, I'm at typically -10 dB on my meter. I monitor it very closely, not only on the mixer itself, but in my DAW. Now, my DAW of choice is Twisted Wave. Now, your DAW may not allow for real-time monitoring of your meters. If that's the case, you will have to play it by ear. But if you can monitor your meters either in your DAW or at your mixer or in your preamp or anything else, make sure that you are not peaking out and going into that clip zone. Like I said, I record typically at -10 dB because I know in mix down, I'm going to do a little bit of adjustments. Maybe I'm gonna add some EQ, maybe I'm going to add some compression, normalization. All of these things happen in mix down and mastering and in the final product of my recording. So I keep that in mind. Now, my final product, when I send my final products out, they are typically at -3 dB. I normalize at -3 dB. That's a pretty common level for when you're sending out voiceover recordings. So if you do happen to find yourself picking up unwanted artifacts, way too much background noise, you can turn down the gain a little bit. You'll have to maybe get a little bit closer to the mic, but you don't have to have that gain so hot. And if you are finding that your recordings are extremely quiet and not picking up your spoken word or whatever it is that you're recording, then turn the gain up. Again, there's no magic elixir to setting gain. The best way to get it mastered down is practice, practice, practice. Practice with every type of signal you can record. Record some real quiet sounds, record some very loud sounds, and see which ones work best in your environment and with your mic. So I hope you found this a very good introductory discussion on gain settings. It can be a very tricky concept to master, and like I said, the best way to really nail it down is to practice, practice, practice. So get out there, start recording all types of sources and signals and noises and sounds, and really get a good feel of the gain on your device and in your gear. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it with somebody that you know that might also be looking for some advice on gain settings, because this hopefully will help them out. If you aren't yet subscribed to this channel, please do so. It's real simple. All you have to do is, I don't know where it is on the screen, find the little button that says subscribe and click it. I really would appreciate you becoming a brand new subscriber on my channel. It really does show me that you appreciate what I'm doing here, and I do appreciate you being right there. And if you already are subscribed to this channel, thank you very, very much. And if you want to be featured on a future What's Up Wednesday, it's real simple to do so. All you have to do is get your questions or topics into me via email or Twitter. The email account is scott@scottydonline.com, and the Twitter account is @scottydonline, as always, in the video description below for easy find and easy use. Until the next What's Up Wednesday, we'll see you next time, Web World.